So thanks to the guild chest event, I've been forced to crawl out of whatever hole I was hiding in to actually play the game more, so I might as well take this opportunity to make videos on decks that I haven't done yet, and today we'll be playing Puppet Portal. I initially wasn't planning to play Puppet Portal for anything, but I needed to grind some points, and Puppet Portal is quite strong and wins fairly fast, so I thought it would be a good choice for me to grind. So yeah, let's look at the deck list we're playing for today first. So this is the list we're playing for today. I just threw it together based on vibes. It's not very optimized or anything, but it really doesn't have to be. It's a strong deck by itself. So this is the list we're running for today. World of Games is strong because it's strong and you have a lot of one-cost cards in this deck, so you can sort of discount it fairly fast. I did lose one game from having it on board, but you know, don't worry about that. We have Puppet Cat because it gives you damage from your Orchis, which is good. We run all 3 spells. This is the Resurrection Tuner. I don't really think this card is that good in this deck. It's just that I need more spells for Imari, so that is why we're running it. We're running a standard 2 drops, and of course Imari, very strong card, so we are running it. Show is... I'm not sure he's that good, but I mean he helps, so he's here. The idea for the deck is to be fast, so we are running more Sheep Storm. Plus he pairs well. He pairs better with Puppet Cat than Odin does because you can super evolve it and play Puppet Cat and hit face. You can't do that with Odin until turn 8, which isn't ideal. And then we run 2 Beelzebub just in case we need it. And then 1 Luo. He's mostly here for moral support, I guess. I mean, the crest is pretty decent sometimes, but it hasn't really come up for me yet so far. The main point of playing this deck is that it's a fairly strong deck that's also supposedly good against destruction. I don't know because I was running in way too much destruction portal, so I switched to this deck, and then I ran into 1 destruction portal, and then the rest were all aggro decks, so you know, I don't really know. But yeah, this is the list we're running for today. You can probably find a more optimized list out there if you really want to get into Puppet Portal, but for the purposes of me grinding my guild chest, this was good enough for me, so this is the deck we'll be playing for today. So let's look at some games. And our first match here is against Portal. For now, Destruction seems overwhelmingly popular over Puppet, so I'm going with that in mind. You can consider keeping Sincerity here. You definitely want at least 1 Imari. In this case, I tossed everything for early game. Imari is not really an early game follower since I want to play on my Evo turn, especially against this deck where finding Sincerity to transform their eggs is fairly important, so yeah. Go ahead and coin Love Struck here. The reason why I do that is because I hope that they didn't have a good way to clear it, but they did. And also because I don't really have much else to do with that coin. If you open Zwei, you definitely want to consider keeping the coin, but in this case I didn't, so yeah. Top deck another Love Struck, which is very nice because we can get some tempo here with this during the Supplicant. My opponent will play a Love Struck of their own. They don't have a second puppet though, so they cannot clear my Love Struck here, which is good for me. We can go ahead and use the Lancer to clear this Love Struck while hitting them in the face. So unfortunately no Zwei, or like with this deck you really want to sap early game, so having Zwei is pretty solid usually. Imari is good as well, but in this matchup specifically you might want to consider saving Imari for when they start playing out their eggs. So not great hand here. We just go ahead and use this turn to draw pick up Zwei here, which is quite nice, as well as Puppet Cat, which we can make use of later on. Then go ahead and evolve to clear the Lancer. Against Destruction, normally the play is to stop Lishana by making a white board. In this case though, they do have 5 play points, so if I can't make a board that's 3 or more followers white, then it's not really worth it. So I saved the Imari here, presumably for the super evil turn where I can have a very high chance of drawing the egg to transform. I mean, drawing Sincerity to transform their egg. So for this time, we just sort of go for Zwei to annoy them. Zwei can be annoying for some decks to clear. You have to be aware of what the opponent's deck is running to know when Zwei is like very good. This matchup, Zwei isn't amazing because of stuff like Imari, but it's not bad either. I think Destruction relatively has quite a few ways to clear Zwei. If you can get rid of their eggs though, it's a bit harder because at least they can't use Congregant, but they definitely have ways. And see, they do manage to clear my Zwei board here. Their Imari, which isn't ideal for me, but it's fine. Unfortunately, we are a bit far from going Show Super Evil Puppet Cat into Orchis here from this damage range, so we go for Imari here instead. And as well as we can set up this World of Games to try to draw into our deck more. We use Puppet Cat to get rid of their Imari here, and then we can use Sincerity to transform their egg, which is the entire point. And we save the Sincerity in case they summon more eggs, which they probably will because this is Egg Portal and that's what they do. There is their Lishana that they do end up having, and they also have a Refrain or Soprano, sorry, which will be able to summon another egg, which is not great because it sort of ruins my goal of ruining their game plan, but you know, it's fine. I'm gonna play Grand Jita here to deal 5 damage to the Lishana. We don't want to spend an evil point here because we're saving it for Orchis, obviously, so we play a bit more safe here, I guess. Go ahead and transform their thing into a little body, and then we just trade off our little body into them. Go ahead and face instead and like maybe ignore the little body or something. That's also an option, but not a great one. Now they are down to 1 egg, which is good for me. What is bad for me is that Lethal is a bit far away right now. Go ahead and call in our Beelzebub here, and then just poke them in the face. Arguably, I could have also chosen to go wide here instead of going Beelzebub and sort of annoy them. But I just went for Beelzebub here. Unfortunately, I don't quite have Lethal. But, you know. Actually, did I have Lethal? No, I probably didn't, right? Yeah, I probably didn't. But, at this point, their hand is so empty that I figured that if I just go wide here, they should have trouble clearing this board. With only 1 egg, it's very hard for them to play Congregant effectively here. So that's what I'm banking on. I am out of evil points though, so I really need to draw stuff like Odin to get away with this. Unfortunately for me, my opponent did have Congregant and they managed. Well, the chance of one of my followers not surviving this turn is fairly high, so that's fine. We go ahead and draw first in case we top deck Odin. Unfortunately, we did not, so we go ahead and use Grand and Jita here to draw more. Thankfully, we do pick up Show here, so we do end up having Lethal, but we also pick up Odin, so that's pretty good. Next game is against Dragon. Keep Imari as usual, and then just look for other good early game cards. I feel like the trend recently with Dragon has been a more aggressive, Intimidate-oriented deck, which is quite annoying because if they high roll you, it's very hard to come back from it, but you know. We shall see, we shall see. Maybe go ahead and just drop Love Struck here, nothing too crazy here. Let's start getting a World of Games count going. Someone plays Golden Notes, they're probably not playing an aggro deck, which is good for me, I guess. Pick up Puppet Lancer off the top here, which is good. We can go ahead and use that to clear the Eileen while maintaining tempo on board. If I didn't draw the Puppet Lancer there, I could have traded Love Struck and then played Show and just hit face, but yeah, that would probably have been fine as well. Here my opponent gives me a free reign with an empty board. We'll go ahead and play Imari here to set up. We don't have spells in hand, we want to set up for the second Imari, so we go ahead and play one to get a spell here, and then we just go ahead and coin Show and just get some aggressive play going with hitting them in the face. Judging from the fact that they're playing Golden Note, we don't want to let this game drag on for too long because if they manage to play a Fennie or two, we are probably in trouble. Assuming that is what they're playing. Not really oh, okay, it's because they want to play around Imari, that makes sense actually, yeah. Go ahead and play Imari here. I want the Grand Cheetah in case I need to draw. Arguably, there are other options. Let me go ahead and make use of the spell that we drew off the Imari last turn. And then use Sincerity to transform it so that I can keep one follow on board. This makes it very, very hard for them to drop Galamew, which is very good. And they don't have the super evil points for Neptune, so unfortunately for them, they are not able to do very much to clear this board, and they are dead to Odin. So yeah, pretty aggressive game plan, I guess, that you can take sometimes. Especially against Dragon, if they have a slow early game, you can sort of punish them this way. Other than that, the absurd tempo from Imari can just win games as well. Our last match here is against Sword. I think aggro and loot are both fairly popular right now, so we don't really know what we're playing against. Quick Blader doesn't tell us anything because loot and aggro plays it. We could coin Love Struck here, but I'm prioritizing cycling draw here, especially since we have Zwei in hand. We kind of want to save the coin. There's Lance Trooper, which tells us this is most likely an aggro deck that runs Oluon, so we keep that in mind. Little trick here, the Puppet and the Knight. The Knight is a 0-cost follower, so when you play Puppet with the Knight on board, you can advance World of Games as well. So, neat little trick, I guess, if you didn't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and generate some Glittering Golds. This is kind of a strange deck, I guess. I don't really know what they're playing. Maybe it could be Evil with Quick Blader in it at this point, which is not really a build they usually see, I guess. Just go ahead and get rid of the Lance Trooper here. I'll place another Lance Trooper. We will get rid of my Lancer and then followed by a third Lance Trooper. So, pretty strong early game for them, assuming they have the cards in hand to keep up after. I think this was a misplay. I probably should have just went Zwei Evil here because Sword has a very bad time clearing it. But I ended up trying to full clear instead, so I went for this play with the Puppets. And I guess this way advances the World of Games for draw better. I'm going to use Sincerity to get rid of the Lance Trooper as well. Sincerity doesn't do much in this matchup besides being a efficient removal, so you might as well use it for removal here. There's no like priority target that we need to get rid of in this matchup. Place the Zeta Bane to flash that quick later. This will have cleared Zwei if we played it last turn, but you know, probably I'm not really sure at this point. We got another Zwei, which is nice. We go ahead and play the Dewdrop first to see what we draw in case it's an Imari or something, but we just go Zwei here. Unfortunately, this Zwei is a bit weak because their board is strong enough to counteract mine. But it's my best bet of clearing this board as well. Just my generally the best play I can make this turn, so just go ahead and play Zwei here. One goes for Zirconia, which is good because there's a decent chance this Zwei lives. As you can see, she does live. It's great for me. We go for a show here. We are risking some damage, but if you no Sword, the 10 damage ceiling here is very hard for them to reach, so we don't really have to worry about that. Our best bet is just to set up for lethal next turn, so we go ahead and Super Evolve Show plus Zwei, punch them for 10 and give them this very annoying barrier target to have to deal with. As well as setting up the Puppet since we do have Orchis in hand. Just poke them in the face here. Their best bet is to go for Oluon and Prey right now if they have it. There's Luminous Magus, so they probably don't have Oluon. They will Super Evolve the War here to get rid of my show. Unfortunately for them, I do have Super Lethal with Orchis and the 0-cost Puppet, so we go ahead and just play Orchis here. And you can Super Evolve Orchis. And then I guess we just go for more damage, so we just trade off into the War here, and then we play the Puppet in hand even though it's completely unnecessary. So that's it for this game. So those are all the games I have for you today. Hopefully it gave you some idea of how this deck works in case you want to try it yourself. It's pretty solid for just grinding chess because you can win fast. And yeah, you can also play aggro decks of course, but this one wins. This one has a pretty solid win rate, I feel, among the faster decks, so I went with this one. Plus it's good against Destruction, which I was running into a lot of, as I said earlier, so that's why I picked this one. Unfortunately, all the Destruction players disappeared, so maybe it's best to switch to a different deck at this point, but who knows. Anyway, that's it for today. See you next time. Bye bye.